Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful Wednesday evening here in Newburgh, New York. Tonight, I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me in the booth, my good friend Bob Hauk, and we have the home opener tonight for the Mount St. Mary College men's soccer team, who are 1-1, rolling into the home opener. Bob, what are the keys to tonight's game?
The keys to tonight's game, I think, is just outscoring your opponent and not letting your opponent score, which is obviously very straight cut, but the men are coming off of a 5-0 victory against SUNY Cannon on Sunday. They had a really rough, or Saturday, I apologize. They had a rough game against Potsdam on Friday.
2-1 loss at SUNY Potsdam, and then the next day, a 5-0 win against SUNY Canton. Bob, just looking at the stat sheets here, the goalkeeper transfer Noah Horn pops off the stat page, 1 goal allowed in 2 contests.
Yeah, the kid's got an 800 save percentage, a transfer from Riviera University up in Nashua, New Hampshire. So welcome back home to New York, kid. We love to have you here.
Bob, this should be a fun one. I mean, our first men's game of the year. We've done 3 women's games now, but finally we get to call a men's game. First home one of the year. Bob, I'm excited.
Absolutely. Delhi is winless, I believe, through 2 games so far, so they're hungry, and I know the Knights just came off a 5-goal victory, so we're going to see some fireworks tonight.
And the Knights, of course, I mean, first home game of the year. Frankly, there's nothing quite like it. Truly a beautiful night. Lots of people on either side of Bob and I in the booth. Plenty more people here in the seats. Bob, it's about time for kickoff. I got to say, man, I am really excited.
I'm stoked, man. It's time to party, as you say.
Took my line. We can open that. Mazzarelli sends it away, and Bob, it's time to party. I'm going to say that again because I like it.
It's a great line right there.
We can open up with a movie reference. You stole my line. Shout out to Good Will Hunting. Great movie.
I'll have to go see about a soccer match.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say the full thing or else I'd immediately get fired, but that one ends up out of play.
Actually, another line word for word. I know exactly what you're referencing.
Well, yeah, hopefully the folks at home know what I'm talking about, too. I mean, if you haven't seen Good Will Hunting, I'm not sure what you're doing. Liam Hughes throws it in. Fresh off the pop culture references, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to go. Sky high towards midfield, past the midfield line. Sam Bevino looking to make a play on it. Hits someone. It's Hughes, the defenseman. Gets it all the way back down for Horn. Horn for Bevino. Bevino along the near sideline gets it to Hughes. Hughes, good job keeping it in play. There's the freshman TJ Mark trying to make a play on the ball. Can't quite knock it loose. It'll go the way of the SUNY Delhi Broncos. Here's Mark again. Now Mark with a little bit of room. Mark gets it to Burgos, the 6'5" sophomore.
That's a big boy.
I'm 6'4", and it's not often a lot of people make me feel short, but I've met Jeremy a couple of times, and he's one of a select few.
Yeah, he's a very large gentleman. I believe he came here as a center back, and he eventually just moved up front, and he bagged himself a couple goals last year. So I'll be happy to see what he does this year as the full-time starter.
Good ball movement here early for the Knights as Tynan swings it to Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli, a senior, coming off a 3-goal effort. That one just high, or rather 3 goals through 2 games. But that power, I mean, that's why.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a firecracker, man. He just jotted under just a little bit, and he had 1 goal against Potsdam, 2 against Canton. Last year's leading goal scorer had 11 through about 20 games, so I'll be excited to see what he does today.
3 goals in 2 games, and I mean, frankly, Bob, we're starting off with the right foot as that one's rifled out of bounds towards the far sideline. It'll go the way of the Knights.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think if the Knights can just stay on the attacking foot here, Delhi's had scoring problems as of late, so they haven't put a lot of goals into the net against other teams, so I think the Knights just have to be able to stay on the attacking front as long as they can.
I mean, we are only 2 minutes into the contest, so I mean, you have to take it with a little bit of a grain of salt, but the Knights have come out swinging, it feels like. Hughes' pass picked off, and now here come the Broncos with motion. That's number 5, David Clapper. Clapper working his way around, gets it towards the near sideline for number 2, Ryan Fryer. Fryer towards the near sideline. That one ends up out of play. Impressive effort from, I believe, Clapper to try and keep it in play. No, that is not Clapper. That is number 7, Derek Jotty.
Yeah, new game, new faces.
Here's Hughes now on the throw-in for the Knights. That ball launched over the head of Mark. Mark giving chase, can't corral it. Bounces around. The Broncos come away with it. Here's Fryer. Fryer gets it for Flynn. Flynn, that one launched across field. Still loose. Here's Hughes off the head. Gets it to Allison. Allison back to Hughes. Hughes for Gutierrez. Gutierrez sends that all the way across the field.
That's a great field switch.
Good job getting it out. And now here's Ethan Wallace with a step. Has the ball poked away. Ends up out of bounds on the far sideline. Fast-paced start to this one, Bob.
Yeah, absolutely. The Knights are just in turbo. Mach 10 here as they're playing the ball up the wing.
Wallace giving chase. Burgos in pursuit. Wallace gets a body on someone. The referees take exception. It'll go way of the Broncos. Of course, the Knights in the traditional white and blue, the Broncos in black with green lettering.
It's not our school, but I do have to say there's some very gorgeous uniforms.
Oh, good. I mean, you can't go wrong with a simple black and white kit.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just really pretty. The green and yellow with the black is definitely a sleek look.
The goalkeeper, Salvatore Maloney, to send it away. That one goes off the head of number 9, Ryan Keyser, out of play. Caromed off a Bronco at some point, so it'll go the way of the Knights. So, I mean, 1-1 and back-to-back. Playing a back-to-back, especially in a sport like soccer, is certainly no easy task. I mean, dropping the first one and then coming back and taking the second one, winning 5-0. I mean, that has to feel good. That's first win of the year, and it's a dominant win.
Yeah, absolutely. And they made that huge. Wow, I really jumped in here, huh?
I mean, we have complaints from the folks at home about your mic volume, which seems to be a recurring issue. Unfortunately, Bob is a soft-spoken gentleman. We have had to make accommodations for that a few times. Good pass through from Mazzarelli. Here's Allison working towards the top of the box. Fires that one towards the far corner. Can Wallace keep it in bounds? Yes, he can. Impressive effort. It ends up out of play behind the end line. See the referees decide to spot this one.
And the Knights are bringing up almost every defender here. They only have Hughes back on his own just to watch his fast breaks. So there's about to be a little bit of chaos here in the box.
So the Knights will get a corner kick. And to your point, Bob, the Knights are loading the zone.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm watching this number 9 here, Ryan Keyser, standing at the top of the key for those at home. He's probably going to be coming in on a delayed run. But other than that, I think there's just going to be chaos in the box to try and find a rebound.
Is that really called the key? Was I right?
I just called it the key.
Okay. It's a basketball turn. That one loose. And then what a goal! Wow. From the parking lot, from way outside, and it's 1-0 Knights.
That was Gutierrez on that. And for those back home, that is called an Olympico. That was unbelievable.
So J.C. Gutierrez gets the first home goal of the year for the Knights. Chelsea Daggers going, and Bob, I am impressed.
I am stoked. That was unbelievable. I can't believe I just saw that in person.
Quite the goal to open the year.
I mean, you see those off the training ground with the lads when you're kicking it about, but you rarely ever see those in games. And that is unbelievable the way you hit that on the trying to outswing that. And I think he might have mishit it, but it ended up just falling into the net. So I mean,
you can't ask
for what it is.
You literally cannot ask for a better start than that.
Yeah, absolutely. That was remarkable.
What an effort off rip. And Bob, I'm fired up. It's Mount St. Mary 1-0.
Man, there's nothing better than it. And that's a shame because I was watching the warm-ups here, and Delhi was doing a lot of practice with their goalkeepers, grabbing in high crosses. So that's a rough one to let in if you're Delhi.
And again, if you're the Knights, you have to feel good. I mean, first home goal comes a little over 5 minutes into the match. And, Bob, that's a highlight reel goal. I mean, that's one you put on the fridge at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely going on the Instagram somewhere if someone gets them a replay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of one you tell your kids about. And the Knights, of course, aren't going to go down easy. I mean, you smell blood in the water. And what was already a fast-paced start. I mean, the Knights, why not just kick it into high gear now?
I mean, might as well just go, just go for the jugular. As you've said before, I mean, might as well just all gas, no brakes.
Maloney to send it away for Delhi.
I do like that last name.
Maloney.
It's a pretty cool name.
I feel like Salvatore Maroni is a Batman character. I mean, because we talked about that before.
Sounds like
someone
who
Batman
works for
character.
like the Penguin, you know?
Yeah. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting my comic book characters mixed up. But so it's a tussle for the ball. And the Knights will come away with it. That's Wallace. Good slide tackle there. Pokes the ball free. Sends it back out towards midfield. We have a whistle. The referee points in the Broncos' direction. I believe it'll head that way.
I believe that was another foul called on Burgos. And sometimes you're going to see that with your larger strikers when they're fighting for that ball and they want to put an elbow into a defender and fight for every inch on the field. Sometimes they're just going to get fouls called on them.
Appearing shaken up for the Broncos, Michael Adeyeye. Appears okay.
Now that's a great name.
Adeyeye, that's a mouthful too. Adeyeye from Oakland, California. Good defense there. Gets it all the way back to Maloney. So the Broncos will do it from the beginning. Fast-paced start for the Knights, and you can tell. I mean, they're flying out of the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the ball just moves at turbo speed on turf fields, and might as well just take advantage of it.
There's Keyser. Good job picking the ball away. Sends it way upfield. Nobody home. Maloney keeps it in play. Maloney waltzes in. A lot of time here. The Knights not exactly putting a pressure on him. He'll pick up the ball and likely just send it way downfield.
Kevin Longing here, longtime coach of the Knights, giving some words for his players who sent that one away. Seems to be that was not the game plan.
Maloney, a lot of time to get that pass off, ultimately gets it off, bounces around a whole bunch. Gutierrez giving chase. He's pursued by Clapper. Gutierrez will give it to Horn. Horn tried to get it to Hughes. It's picked off by Clapper, loose in front. Hughes, solid defensive effort. Oh, what a stop! Sliding effort from Bevavino to keep it out of the net, and it stays 1-0.
Oh, wow, that was almost really dangerous there. Horn trying to get rid of that ball, trying to play it calmly out of the back, and then deflection got through, and Delhi almost hammered that home.
You see that a lot of times, just an errant pass there from Horn, picked off. That was a gift-wrapped opportunity for Delhi. What a defensive effort from Bevavino to keep it out of the back of the net.
That's just great communication to be able to move with the play there and stick on the back post to make sure
that one's sent towards the middle of the field. Quentin Tynan deflects it off his head. Good defensive effort there. Sending that one towards the net. Aiden Gahim. Horn easily makes the play. So the Knights getting it done on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Standing strong in defense, even with a little bit of a slip up there. You do love to see that from the boys.
Bevavino gets it to Keyser. Keyser back to Bevavino. Bevavino to Hughes. And the Broncos very aggressive in the pursuit of the ball on their own end. Gutierrez.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to, absolutely again, as I say, you definitely have to be careful when you're ahead 1. The other team's going to be turning up a notch, and they're going to be coming after that ball as fast as they can.
Good deflection there from Mark to Burgos. Here's Mazzarelli. I feel like if a team is going to pressure you deep in your own end, it's not quite a press, but if you can find a way to get around that, I mean, the Knights could have a lot of room to work with here.
I agree, and if you could be careful to bait in enough to get 1 or 2 forwards or wingers to come try and pressure that ball, then there's going to be a guy open. You can chip one over the top. You're getting yourself a free push into the attacking third.
Gutierrez set to take another corner kick. We'll see if he has some more magic in him. But I feel like it's the same logic as breaking a press in basketball. I mean, you're automatically going to have a 1 or 2 man advantage if you can get around the guy guarding you.
More or less, yes.
Gutierrez sends that one towards the middle. Intended for Tynan. Tynan does a good job fielding it. Leaves it for Keyser. That one trickles out of harm's way, but Hughes to keep it in the Bronco end. Hughes gets it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez from well outside sends that one towards the middle. Tried to get a head on it as Mark. It's loose in front, out behind the end line. Appears Quinn Tynan wanted a call. Not going to get it. Still 1-0.
That's what a heck of a ball from Gutierrez to be able to turn the shoulder there and just whip onto the back post from about 40 out.
Pristine passing from Mount St. Mary to open the contest.
Agreed. Passing is looking very sharp. I would not be shocked if we continue to see passes get pinged around on the floor here at a very high rate.
Bouncing around towards the middle of the field. The Knights come away with it. Gutierrez sends it straight up. Keyser is there, tussled with Gahim. Both appeared to get a foot on it. That one's still straight up. Working it was Fryer. That one picked off by Mark. Mark falls, no whistle. Rifled up ahead, giving chase is Derek Jotty. And not out of play. Impressive effort there to keep it in. That one towards the sideline, out of play, but it'll stick with Delhi. Doing the throw-in for Delhi, Nicholas Anastos, 6'1" sophomore, Endwell, New York.
For Maine Endwell Soccer Club.
Interesting. That one launched towards the middle. Still loose. Fires that one wide. Getting a shot at least, I don't know if you can call that on target, but it was a shot. Matt Serro.
Better than no shot, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Pushing one towards net at least.
Well to the left of the net.
You at least put the idea into the mind of the defense that shot can come out again.
Of course.
And I do find it intriguing with the we do get roster sheets from each team, and the Delhi has put each player's club that they play for back home, which I find really intriguing.
The one that popped off, I mean, we talked about Michael Adeyeye from Oakland, Sacramento Republic.
Yeah, that's if I'm not mistaken, that is a USL side. I don't know if they have multiple divisions or if he plays there in the summer or what. That's impressive.
Good effort there from Allison to hang on to the ball. So, I mean, I'm from about an hour south of Sacramento, so I've seen advertisements and ticket sales for the Republic all the time. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at.
Absolutely not. If I'm not mistaken, they're looking into getting a new stadium for the Republic, which would be pretty impressive.
Here's Burgos. Good job getting
Great
the ball
play.
around. Here's Mark. Mark from Mazzarelli. Beautiful lead pass for Burgos. Burgos with a step. Fires. Saved by Horn, but we have an offside.
Just a step offside there. Couldn't get that shot quite right, but that passing right there on the wing out of the triangle, that's just a gorgeous look for the Mount. And you love to see that this early in the game.
I love that strategy. I mean, Burgos, he's 6'5". You put it, you put it on the top shelf where Mama keeps the peanut butter. I mean, you put it in a spot where only he can get it. That's a recipe for success, I think. If the Knights can find a way to keep that one offside, they'll do damage with it.
100%.
Gutierrez rifles one that goes off the head of number 17, Ian Silvero. Now here the Knights, it's Wallace to Mark. Mark trips. Good slide tackle there. Good defense from Delhi and sends it up the field. And can the Broncos turn some defense into offense? Hughes with a step. Gets it to Horn. Horn gets it just out of harm's way. The Broncos very aggressive in the pursuit of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like the Broncos are just going for broke here to try and tie this game up as soon as they can.
Gutierrez, solid defense. And, of course, I mean, we talked about this, but, I mean, the Broncos still not shy about playing defense in their own end.
Yeah, it seems like they're just trying to bend and not break on the back line and just try and get something over the top to get a quick counterattack here to tie up this match.
Horn rolls it for Bevavino. Bevavino well upfield for Tynan. Tynan for Burgos, right around the midfield line towards the far sideline. Burgos gets it back to Mark. Mark loses the ball. Launched by Adeyeye goes off Mark. That ball took an interesting route, ultimately ends up with Salvatore Maloney. Maloney, methodical. Mazzarelli there, opts not to put too much pressure on him. That goes off the head of a Bronco. Continues to bounce around, corralled by Bevavino. Bevavino tried to get it to Tynan. Tynan likes to let it go. Broncos lock it down. Burgos picks his pocket, now with a step. Burgos for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli, the Knights outnumbered here. Mazzarelli poke-checked, loses the ball, gets it to Mark. Mark for Keyser out behind midfield. Here's Hughes working on his own end of the field. Hughes past midfield, gets it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez intended for Allison. Errant pass taken away by Delhi. Here's Clapper. Clapper gets it for Derek Jotty. Out of play. Knights ball.
And great effort from Hughes there to be able to stay with the play and be able to backheel that off of the ensuing attack to be able to get the throw.
Hughes launches that one for Burgos. Too high. Out of play. A little bit breezy.
Just a tad.
Hughes for Mazzarelli. Out of play. Still Knights ball.
I think with all these throw-ins that Delhi is forcing, you're seeing a very physical slowdown of play from the Mount, which I don't think they want to be doing right now.
And if you're Delhi, I mean, that's something you have to do. I mean, we noted the Knights scored a little over 5 minutes into the contest, but we observed just how fast the Knights have been playing. And for a team like Delhi, you fall behind early, you fall behind to a team that's playing fast. You just have to find a way to slow the game down. Derek Jotty sends that one all the way towards the end line. Horn lets it go. Goalie kick up coming here for the Mount.
I do really like that all-red uniform with the white sleeves. It's a sleek look.
Sleek look. We have a whistle in our first substitutions. Robert Mercilliot and number 25, Matthew Bender. So first substitutions, first real, I mean, we've had a whole bunch of throws, but that's the first real stoppage in play. Under half an hour now, 29:15 and counting down. Here's Mark. Mark rolls that one for Burgos. Miscommunication there. Adeyeye will let it go out of play. So Delhi, we'll see if they can turn some defense into offense. You know they're trying to. You can definitely tell that's the approach. We've talked about how aggressive they've been in their pursuit of the ball, but really nothing to show for it yet.
Yeah, most certainly. And you can definitely see Delhi trying to build up from the back and try and chip balls over the top and play through long through balls. So I think the Mount's just going to have to be careful to keep their back line firm.
Hughes wears that one off the head, bounces to Mark. Mark gets it to Allison. Pass, Tynan was there, opt to let it go for Wallace. Just a little out of Wallace's reach. That one ends up into the seats, a souvenir.
And those bright neon balls, I do love those. Those are great.
Easy to follow.
Very easy to follow. I love the look of those. I don't know why we don't use them for men's and women's.
Good question. So, I mean, the one shot on goal for the Broncos was the save by Bevavino, the sliding save. I mean, that's impressive. I mean, it was a good opportunity, but so far it's been the only opportunity.
And a substitute's come on from the Mount here 13, Alex Napoli, freshman forward from White Plains, New York.
And Napoli comes on in relief of fellow freshman TJ Mark. Maloney to kick it away. Maloney, it seems like he has a lot of time to hold on to the ball, figure out what he wants to do with the ball. I mean, it's worked out for the most part, but it's two very different defensive approaches for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't tell if the Mount is playing a 5-back, but the way they're dropping back looks like they have 5 backs back, which means they're going to have a few less guys in the midfield to be able to move that ball around. They're definitely just trying to ping passes up forward much quicker than Delhi can.
The Knights working with the ball deep in their own end. Pickpocket there from Delhi. Gets a shot off the crossbar, still loose in front. Good job there from Hughes to at least get it out of harm's way. Tynan gets a body on it. Delhi still working with it, and good defense there from the Knights.
Wow, that was dangerous.
Impressive effort. So Delhi, both of their shots on goal have been near misses.
Yeah, definitely. And Horn was just a spectator on that one. That was a firecracker from way out. He was caught a little bit of a break there.
That one goes bar down, but it does not go in. So Delhi still scoreless, still 1-0. Now the Knights, you can see if they can turn that into some momentum. The ball pinballing around off a whole bunch of different people's heads. Here's Burgos with step. Mazzarelli gets a foot on it, deflects it off somebody. Gutierrez for Hughes. That ball now behind midfield. Hughes back again over midfield. Pickpocketed there, still loose. Gutierrez gets a foot on it, back to Hughes. Hughes intended for Napoli, just out of his reach. And the Broncos are going to try and go the other way with it. Good defense there from Hughes to poke it away. Mazzarelli working with it. Mazzarelli. Delhi backs off, and the Knights will be able to breathe. Now here's Keyser for Tynan. Tynan works his way just outside the midfield circle, gets it to Napoli. Napoli up along the far sideline for Wallace. Wallace centering pass, intended for Burgos, skips, Adeyeye, good defense there, getting it out of harm's way. Here's Keyser. Keyser working it along the far sideline, almost directly at the middle of the field, sends it all the way back for Noah Horn. Horn boots it well upfield. Mazzarelli gets a foot on it.
That's a
really
great
good
touch.
pass there. Mazzarelli, impressive touch, gets it upfield, takes a fall, no whistle. Here's Wallace putting the moves on, trying to get around, centering pass, picked off, catches somebody in front. That'll land almost directly at the middle of the field. Bevavino gets a head on it, sends it deeper into Bronco territory. Here's Gutierrez. The Knights, really good job just dominating time of possession so far.
Seems to be the game plan, and it's definitely working out.
Gutierrez, cross-field pass for Wallace. A little out of his reach, but it doesn't go out of play. Wallace working it up along the far sideline. Keyser sends that one towards the middle, nobody home. Adeyeye looks to get it out. Burgos comes to pressure. Adeyeye gets rid of it. Up along the far sideline. Delhi sends it towards the middle of the field, still in play. The Knights come away with it. Impressive defensive effort there from number 8, Aiden Gahim, but the Knights able to come away with it regardless. Burgos, pressure, gets it there. Here's Wallace, waves off his teammates. The Knights elect that one to go out of bounds. Both sides probably need a breather there.
Yeah, the Knights definitely seem like they turned it up a notch there, and Delhi's got to be careful. Their center backs do not look comfortable playing the ball. They are very keen to boot it out, so I think the Mount just needs to continue to pressure them and force them to control the ball.
It certainly feels like the Knights have led in time of possession, but that being said, the ball feels like it's changed hands a lot.
It definitely has. You're seeing a lot of long ball play here, and I believe it's Delhi just trying to catch a counterattack, so in return, Knights trying to boot the ball back to get it back into the midfield to hold on to it. That's just what's going to happen sometimes.
Mazzarelli in Maloney's ear, not playing defense, but just letting him know he's around. Intimidation tactic, no doubt.
Very frequent tactic from forwards to pressure the goalkeeper as to not give them all the time in the world.
Here's Keyser, Bevavino, Hughes. And not to give all time in the world, that seems to be Delhi's strategy. They want to make the Knights get rid of the ball. I mean, they've really been in Horn's office all game.
Yeah, 100%. And if you pressure a goalkeeper enough, eventually a bounce is going to go your way, and that seems to be Delhi's game plan.
Well, and we almost saw that on good impressive effort there from Keyser just to get it out of anybody's way. But that's what we saw on the slide save from Bevavino. Horn had a pass picked off, and the aggressive defense strategy, I mean, typically a good strategy in any sport, but that's the one time so far that Delhi has been able to turn that into some offense.
Definitely seems it, and of course, he is a senior and he's been playing soccer for quite a few years and at the collegiate level, but you still have to give some comfort to your transfer because he's not fully integrated into this defensive front yet.
I mean, 1 goal in 2 games. I mean, Bob, on the surf, it seems like he's settling in just fine.
I say the kid's having a blast.
So this has been a remarkably fast half. Your traditional one stoppage for substitution, but other than that, nothing outside of your usual throw-ins and goalie kicks. 23 minutes and counting down. Your score still 1-0 Knights.
Yeah, we're zipping through this, and then sometimes that happens when you don't get a whole lot of stoppages.
Well, it's nice. Because obviously the players get in some kind of flow state, but as broadcasters, it's a good game to watch, good game to call.
Most certainly. It's great to see a lot of possession here and see a lot of midfield play, a lot of jockeying for ball possession.
Gutierrez, the lone goal scorer today, ends up out of play. Allison takes a fall.
A little bit of shoving here.
Wanted a call, the referee not falling for it. Hughes for Gutierrez. Little trouble there. Now here's David Clapper leading the charge for Delhi. The Knights do have numbers. Hughes pokes it to Horn. Horn floats that one for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli can't quite get a beat on it. Delhi passes it around, goes off a couple different people. Gutierrez works it along the sideline, able to deflect it off of Bronco, out of play. Knights ball.
And if you want something to gawk at that's not goal scoring, it's JC Gutierrez here on the closest end of the stream, number 5. This is just an unbelievable player when he's on the ball.
Gutierrez doing it all. A highlight reel goal and exceptional defense so far.
Such a high motor midfielder, and you'll see him walking around frequently when the ball is in possession on the offense, and he'll be looking over his shoulders constantly trying to find open space.
That ball takes a deflection. Tynan and a Bronco go up for it. Mount St. Mary able to come away with it. Deflects off a Bronco and out of play. Tynan to throw it in. Tynan gets it to Burgos. Burgos guarded tightly by Adeyeye. That one fired back towards midfield. Good job by Clapper to corral it. Clapper leaves it up along the far sideline. Little miscommunication there from Delhi. Ends up out of play. Keyser to throw it in for the Knights.
Definitely, and you can see the Knights just being very aware of the fact that they're trying to feed their striker up top, and they're keeping 2 to 3 men back at all times. It's an impressive form to be able to keep in such a contested game at the moment.
And as we mentioned, the ball changing hands a lot, but the Delhi defense really has done a good job. The Knights' lone shot on goal is the lone goal of the game.
100%, and it's never a great thing to go down, but you can still look at positives from Delhi to be able to maintain this midfield possession so frequently, and you have to. It's never a good thing to concede a goal early, but you also have to be careful because at any moment when the ball is in the midfield so frequently like this is right now, anything can get through for a striker, and they're going to put it home.
And to your point, giving up a goal early is a punch in the mouth, but other than that, Delhi hasn't yielded anything.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like the plan has gone out the window just yet, so it seems like Delhi is going to keep their form, and they're going to keep pressuring them out.
So the Knights have not had a shot on goal in 20 minutes. But fortunately for the Knights, that one shot on goal went in. There's Horn.
Straight into Horn's office again. They are giving him no breathing space.
Wallace takes a fall. The referee blows the whistle that time. And that's what I think Delhi is kind of hanging their hat on. They've had a few chances so far, but Delhi have been in Noah Horn's office the whole game.
Switch. Wow. Sorry to interrupt you. That was a gorgeous free kick to switch the field.
The Knights have done that a couple of times now.
So the passing alone has just been unbelievable from the Mount so far.
And just what I was saying, Delhi's game plan seems to be, get in Noah Horn's hair, try and get him to make a mistake. And they almost had him earlier in the contest, but the Knights defense kept the ball out.
100%. You'll see them pump a lot of balls up the channels, and you're going to see a lot from the stream, forwards and midfielders trying to get ahead on it just to redirect it through to try and put off the defense to get one-on-ones with Horn.
Mazzarelli tried to deflect that one off his body, unable to keep possession of the ball. Now here's the Broncos with a little bit of momentum. Keyser giving chase, overrunning it is number 13, Matt Serro. Serro, a little overzealous in his pursuit. Keyser able to come away with the ball, but now it's loose. Keyser guarding Clapper. Keyser with a step. Tried to get that one out of bounds. Hits a Bronco. I believe that was Clapper to stay in play. Burgos tussles for it. That one ends up out of bounds. The referees will signal direction of the Knights. The Knights have done a good job just not panicking per se. They've had the ball deep in their own end a few times, and instead of, firing it towards midfield just to get it out of the way, they've just kicked it out of bounds and forced Delhi to make it from scratch.
It's certainly a comfort level, and they have a lot of upperclassmen on the squad, so I think you can definitely see the experience coming through getting late into this first half.
Allison on a collision. Both players slide. Loud sound effect, but nothing comes of it. Out of play. Still the way of the Knights.
Remarkable 50-50 attempt from Allison. You love to see that coming out of one of your underclassmen, a sophomore from poor Port Jefferson? Yes, sorry.
Burgos corrals it. Napoli gets bumped, loses the ball, gets it back. Good defense there from Mount St. Mary. Mazzarelli, that pass a little out in front of him, unable to corral it. Giving chase is Wallace. Good defense there, able to knock it away. Can he keep it in bounds? Yes, he can. Delhi does have defensive numbers, gets it to Mazzarelli. Pass ahead for Napoli. Napoli falls, and we have a whistle.
And a penalty is called here against Delhi. The Mount are going to get a spot kick.
And Bob, this is this could turn into some nice opportunity here for Mount St. Mary.
That's extremely impressive coming from a first-year Ethan Wallace, coming off the wing there, being able to just work that ball through with Mazzarelli and being able to draw the foul. Sorry to cut you off. That was impressive.
No, please do. That's what you're here for. Impressive defensive effort is going to turn into an opportunity here for the Knights. So Mazzarelli, 3 goals in the first 2 games. I think he's kind of the no-brainer to take this kick.
I mean, he's lining up for it. I would not be shocked if he hammers one here into the top ends, as the kids say.
So Mazzarelli and Maloney, 1-on-1. The Knights looking to tack on one more. Mazzarelli, here it comes. Knocked away by Maloney. Wow. That one ends up out of play. Impressive effort there from Salvatore Maloney. I mean, 1-on-1. The cards are not quite in your favor, and he manages to turn that one aside.
Didn't get it right, and Mazzarelli's usually keen to hit them as hard as he can, and there I think he just overthought the placement of it, and Maloney just jumped right on it, and he got a hand to it. That is just an unfortunate break.
Diving stop from Maloney to keep it at a 1-goal advantage for the Knights. That one did end up out of play off of Bronco, though, so the Knights do have the ball in the Delhi end. So not all hope is lost for this opportunity. Mazzarelli takes a fall off Burgos, out of play. The referee signaled Knights ball still. And I feel like the Knights have just completely dominated, the throw-in. There's been so many for Mount St. Mary. Out of play, and we're going to have another one.
And frequently the teams that hold possession so much and push the envelope upfield so frequently, you will see a lot of throw-ins coming out from them.
And it's, taking a tumble there is Napoli. That allows Delhi to at least get it out for now. Keyser trying to keep it in play. Tynan picks it back up. Picked up quickly by 2 Broncos. Good effort to get it around. Gets a shot off. Leaping effort from Maloney.
That was a wonderful move from Tynan in the midfield. He was keen to take one from a different area code, a different state even.
And Tynan worked 40 hours a week just to get that shot off. So an impressive effort, but Maloney with a leaping save keeps it out of the back of the net. Still 1-0.
Worked a full shift, and the check didn't cash.
There's Tynan. Whole bunch of room. Leaves it for Keyser. Bob, this has been an electric matchup through roughly the first half an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at 16:23 to play. If you're just now joining us, Mount St. Mary 1, SUNY Delhi 0.
For those just tuning in, you see 1-0. It's definitely a low scoreline, but it's been a really entertaining match so far, especially right in front of us here in the booth. There's been a lot of great wing play, a lot of great midfield play.
Hughes, that's what I'm talking about. The Knights just seem to end up in the right spot. Hughes, cornered, gets it off of Bronco, and it'll go the way of the Knights. Burgos double-teamed. That one deflected off Gutierrez, and the Broncos will return the favor.
If I can mention, there was a coach somewhere on the Delhi bench that just belted out something to his players. So if there's building frustrations here from Delhi, that's a great sign for the Mount.
I mean, Delhi is – there's really not – it's only 1-0, but this has been really as even as it gets. Delhi's defense – clearly has done a number on the Knights, but that one corner kick from Gutierrez so far has been the difference maker.
Unbelievable. Worldy, as the kids will say back home.
That was impressive.
That really was. I'm shocked and very honored that I got to see an Olympico in person.
That one picked off, and now here's Delhi with some numbers. That one on towards the net. Horn plays it off a bounce, wraps it up. So, the Broncos have knocked on Horn's door a little bit, but so far he hasn't opened it.
Yeah, the senior's not letting anything by him, and he's keen to take his time here, and he's gonna let him know.
And that's the first time really where Delhi has just backed off.
Yeah, I think this late in the half, I just don't think there's an incentive to be jumping on Horn when he's got 2 hands on the ball.
There's Burgos. He'll get it across the field. That's Wallace. And we talked about Delhi seemed to just hang their hat on, get Horn to try and turn it over, but there's a lot of pressure that comes with running that kind of press defense.
Yeah, and
we have a whistle as Umaro Conte and number 22, Carson Maker, collide. Conte down. We hope he's all right.
Just a little bit of self-inflicted damage there.
Holding his neck, but up and moving under his own power, thankfully.
Absolutely.
Maloney to send it away from about halfway between midfield and the goal. Fires away. Whole mess of bodies just outside the top of the box. Nobody corrals it yet. Here's Gutierrez. Gets it to Tynan. Tynan loses his footing a little bit, able to come away with it anyway. Tynan with a step, giving chase is Conti. Good pass up ahead, just out of the reach of Mazzarelli, out of play.
And Tynan just barely mishit that. He saw Mazzarelli on the wide wing there and just hardly put too much juice on it.
The idea was there.
Absolutely, and the buildup was gorgeous there. I would not be shocked if we see a few more of those before the half ends.
Out of play, Broncos ball. And we talked about that. The Knights tried to set that up with Burgos. I mean, it takes a lot of skill, but the perfect pass is getting it to where the guy is going to be, not getting it to the guy themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see a lot of your world-class passers being able to find guys into open space and be able to lead them in the passes. That's always the most difficult part.
Mazzarelli double-teamed the Broncos, playing some defense. Hughes just fires it away. Nobody in white home. Hughes off the head again. Here's Burgos now. Him and Adieye collide. Adieye with a step leaves it for Maloney. And a whistle.
And Burgos and Adieye will get a word here for having a little bit of a tussle there on the ball.
Burgos has played incredibly physically. I mean, we love that here at the Mount, but the referees have called his name a few times. I mean, at 6'5", you have to be a bit of a bruiser.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, frequently you hear so often from center backs how difficult it is to be dealing with a guy who's 5'5" and wants the ball over his shoulder one week, and the next you're playing a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", that's going to be putting his elbow into you trying to play it through the central channel.
Maloney with all kinds of time will kick it away. Low line drive. Whole mess of people. Hughes gets a body on it. Still bouncing around. Delhi able to come away with it, getting a head on it. Now that's back to Maker. Now working with it is Fryer. Fryer along the near sideline sends that one towards the middle. Bevavino gets a head on it, and it falls all the way back to Fryer. Here's Burgos. That one picked up by Delhi. Double header there from Nicholas Anastos. Now here's Quinn Tynan. Tynan up ahead to the far sideline. It's number 15, Cam Welsh in pursuit. Welsh knocks it down, gets it to Maker. Maker intended for Tynan. Tynan, good job, able to come down with that. Guarded tightly by Conti. Now here's Hughes. Hughes leaves it for Gutierrez up along the near sideline, gets it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli works his way around, just directing traffic a little bit here, trying to create any kind of separation. Does so, leaves it for Maker. Maker has a little trouble with the ball. Now here's Delhi going the other way. That ball, impressive effort there from Keyser. We have a whistle, but it'll stick with the way of the Knights.
And the Knights definitely pressing the issue here at the end of the half. I love to see that, and I would not be shocked if the Knights are inclined to go for goal again.
I mean, 11:35. Both teams have been playing with a fire underneath them the whole half. I don't expect that to change.
Not at all, and standing right on top of the sea is Liam Hughes. I think he's definitely going to be keen to blast one into this sea of bodies.
Mess of bodies at the very top of the box. That one goes all the way to the net. Maloney corrals it.
Wind caught that one a little bit as Mother Nature reintroduces herself to our broadcast.
Yeah, uptick in wind. Hughes gets a little more juice under that than he probably intended. Maloney wraps it up fairly easily. And I feel like we just can't get it to escape the wind. I mean, it's a gorgeous night. It was a gorgeous night last night, too. It's just windy, which is annoying because our entire job revolves around talking into a microphone.
A little bit of a dangerous tackle, says the referee, is free kick will be called in Delhi's favor. Always have to be careful with that studs up and locations on the leg. It's very, very particular when it comes to referees calling fouls.
The referees tonight have, I mean, is it the right call? Yeah, probably. But the referees have not hesitated to blow the whistle here tonight.
Definitely not. It's a warm piece of metal in his mouth.
Taking the free kick for Delhi is Aiden Gahin. Sends that one towards the middle. The intended target fell. Still loose in front. Whole mess of bodies. Keyser, it looks like, able to knock it out of play. No signal yet from the refs.
We'll be going to a corner kick here.
It will be a corner kick for Delhi.
Difficult to see the orange body in the middle as his arms are kind of covered from our point of view.
So the lone goal of the game was scored on a corner kick. We'll see if Delhi can capture lightning in a bottle.
Pushing up a lot of guys here. They're definitely going to be trying to create some sort of chaos in the box. They're going to be testing Horn on the doorstep again.
Taking the corner kick, got him, low line drive. Hits somebody in front, and Karam's way out of the box. That one, good deflection there from Napoli. So it'll stick with the Broncos, but it's Broncos ball from midfield and not right on the doorstep.
Yeah, and great run from Napoli there to just stick with that and get the deflection, push it out just so they can't be getting such an easy opportunity to play the ball back into the box.
Jake Carroll to throw it in. The ball changed hands. Up ahead, leaves it for Conti. Conti in pursuit. Conti guarded by Keyser. Out of play.
We will go back to a corner kick.
So 9 minutes, 9 seconds counting down. Bob, I mean, I know we've talked about it a whole lot, but this has been a remarkably smooth first half.
Absolutely. Not a whole lot of fouls, not a whole lot of hootenanny and nonsense.
Both teams strictly business. 3 shots on goal for each side. Corner kicks 3-2 in favor of Delhi. That one hits a Knight up front, able to get it out of the box. Delhi maintains possession. It's just, again, not right on Noah Horn's front porch. Now here's Napoli with it, here's Welsh with a step. Good move, it's Tynan. Tynan for Mazzarelli. The Knights obviously looking for one more before the break. Mazzarelli gets tied up, loses possession, able to get a pass off. That's Napoli. Napoli back for Mazzarelli.
And impressive to see the freshman midfielders from the Mount look so comfortable on that wing over there, making plays.
Mazzarelli gets it all the way upfield. Here's Welsh. Welsh working inside, centering pass off of Bronco in front. Here's Maker, uncontested, good touch, able to keep that one. Knights possession. Welsh, far sideline, good spin move, tripped up a little bit. Looking to create separation, slide tackle there, good defense from Delhi.
Hard tackle there on the wing. I'm shocked there wasn't a foul called.
In Delhi's interior defense, I mean, with the exception, obviously, of the corner kick goal, Delhi's interior defense has been quite good.
Seems to be they fortified and got a splash of cold water in the face after the Mount jumped out so early.
Hughes gets it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez gets it back to Hughes. Hughes, crossfield, it's Maker, just outside of the midfield circle. Maker for Welsh. I mean, if you're the Knights and really just broadcasting this game, this is one of those games that feels like a one goal lead isn't going to be enough.
100% not.
Walks it all the way inside off the crossbar. No goal there. That's exactly what we were talking about. That ball was crushed.
That was a firecracker, and the post is still reverberating after that one as Maloney's going to have to take a breather after seeing such a hard shot get whipped out from outside of the box.
I was going to say the Knights rattle the cage, but they can't get that second goal.
Woof. As we're taking a lull to talk about the end of the half here, an absolute scorcher gets unleashed.
Man, oh man. So some loud near misses from both sides. Somehow, some way, it is still Knights 1-0.
Warning shots.
And the beauty of sports, and I suppose particularly soccer, but I mean, of all the impressive shots we've seen today, I mean, the one goal was a corner kick.
Yeah, that's a rare one. That's a really rare one. And for the first home game of the season, that's pretty cool.
Here's Horn now, up in front. Keyser, good job boxing out Joseph Hayward. And Bob, I mean, you never know what you're going to see when you come to the office.
Something new every day. Never a dull day here at the Mount.
Here's Horn. Delhi has backed off. I mean, Horn clearly has possession of it. I mean, and to your point, I mean, I'm not sure there's much of a point in going after a guy who's got the ball with 2 hands.
Yeah, definitely. And I think on those quick build-up plays where he might be keen to get it out quickly, you want to be pressuring him, but when he can stand around with the ball in his hands, he can just boot it away if you're standing too close.
Nicholas Elastos unable to handle it. The Knights catch a break. Mazzarelli will throw it in. In now for Mount St. Mary, number 6, Michael Hillis, coming on in relief of Jeremy Burgos.
And to your point earlier, I would not be shocked if you see a few more goals come out from either side, as this has been a really testy matchup.
I mean, again, we just said this, but I mean, it's only accentuated by that missile off the crossbar. I mean, this feels like a game where a 1-goal lead won't be enough.
Definitely not. And Delhi is going to be as hungry as dogs who haven't eaten in a few days here, and they're going to be running much quicker than the Mount are.
5:23 to play, still 1-0. I mean, Bob, we're setting up for an impressive second half as Hughes looked to get that one towards the net, blocked in front. Mazzarelli knocks it down. Good job boxing out the defender there. That's Robert Mercilliot. Mazzarelli tried to get that one towards the middle, catches somebody's foot, deflected. Delhi able to get it away. Hughes with a step, guarding Hayward. Hayward able to come away with it and knock it down. We have a whistle. It'll go the way of the Broncos.
A little bit too much pushing in the midfield there as this matchup continues to reach a boiling point. There's a very loud car passing by. Perks of being on the street.
That seems to be a recurring theme with people in their loud vehicles.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, again, in an open-air broadcast booth, that's part of the job, I suppose.
Only so much you can do.
I mean, yeah, there was a wasp in the broadcast booth earlier. I decided to keep that to myself so as not to ruin my public image. But, yeah, I mean, there's a wasp flying around, and it was freaking me out. I was not about it.
I'm not a bug guy at all.
No,
I'm terrified of bugs.
Yeah. I mean, there's a population of people out there that do like bugs. I can't say I'm one of them. Especially not wasps.
No, definitely not.
Like, I don't like bugs as is, but bugs that can hurt you, count me out. That one's still loose in front. Keyser, defensive effort there.
Had to be cleared by Keyser.
Much needed, too. So, I mean, the Broncos have been knocking on the door a few times, but the interior defense for the Mount has hunkered down when they need it the most.
Most certainly. And Bevavino and Keyser back there just being a great defending duo. Bevavino making sure no one-on-ones with the goalkeeper are left, and Keyser being a sweeper to clear out any danger chances.
Good sliding defensive effort there from Bevavino, but it's still loose in front. Hughes gets a foot on it, blocks the centering pass. Great defense there. Crossfield pass now to Gutierrez. Gutierrez backs off and able to come away with the ball regardless. If you're the Knights, just have to get it out of the way. Here's Tynan now, the Knights with separation. Tynan with speed, with room up ahead. It's Mazzarelli and Napoli both. Can either of them catch up to it? No. The sliding Anastas gets it out of play.
We'll get another corner kick.
Corner kick here for the Mount. 3 minutes and counting down.
And a long run for Gutierrez to come up here. I believe they're going to let him take the corner once again.
I mean, after that first one that went in, you let him take every corner kick for the rest of the year.
Yeah, really. Can't take it away from him, right?
So Napoli and Gutierrez have a conversation.
Pushing up more defense here, I would not be surprised if we see some sort of back post play here. Probably going to be an in-swinger to the deepest part of the box.
So Napoli stays in Gutierrez's back pocket, just leaves it for Gutierrez. Gutierrez works it around the end line, centering pass, catches somebody in front. Here's Maker now from well outside. He gets a shot off, that one high and wide up to the left.
Now, I do believe those Gutierrez who played a one-touch into Napoli rinsed the defender and tried to get a play in off the goal line, just didn't come home.
Maloney to send it away. He's had a lot of time to think about what he wants to do with the ball. I mean, Delhi has mellowed out in their pursuits, but, I mean, Maloney has not been guarded tightly all game. Here's Conti. Just first touch, just rifles it towards the goal. That one well to the right, out of play behind the end line.
I could definitely understand what he was trying to do there. He had a little bit of daylight in between the two defenders and saw Horn off his line, so he definitely wanted to go for a hard volley over the top. Just definitely didn't catch it right.
Bevavino, low line drive. Mazzarelli, the only guy in white over there, but he has room to work with. Stays on side. Good move. Creates an opportunity. That one high and wide, well off to the left. But, I mean, the Knights, first Tynan and now Mazzarelli, the Knights seniors, the Knights big guys, have done a good job creating separation and creating shots. For
certain, and so it's a great indicator of an experienced team and a strong side to have your older guys be able to lead the way so that your freshman underclassmen can have space to work.
Maloney leaves it low. Gutierrez gets the first touch, can't corral it. Pass intended for Napoli, that one picked off by Fryer. Here's Hughes, gets that one off his foot. Both teams playing ping pong with the midfield line, and we're now under a minute to play here in the first half.
A lot of pushing and shoving on the wing here as there's
Hayward and Hughes tussled up. Gutierrez comes over to help. And Bob, it has been an impressive defensive effort tonight for Liam Hughes.
It really has been. I mean, I've talked to the kid personally a lot. We're somewhat of acquaintances. He's a very cool guy, phenomenal player. He's been playing fullback for the Mount since he got here as a freshman, so it's impressive to see him improve so much.
Kyan Flynn rifles that one off Quinn Tynan, so 23 rockets one off 23. Ball bounces around. The Knights have 25 seconds. Here's Tynan. Guarded again by Kyan Flynn. That one out of play. Broncos ball. 15 seconds and counting down, and we'll see if SUNY Delhi elects to do anything. That ball tossed in. Under 10 now. Tynan gets a foot on it. Quickly sent back by Adeyeye. And that one sent upfield. And there the buzzer sounds. Some complaints from Delhi from somewhere. I mean, complaining about the clock is an interesting battle to pick. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, it is 1-0 Mount St. Mary Knights at the end of the first half. And Bob, that was quite fun.
That was exciting. Fireworks in a different sense. Not a massive scoreline, but definitely a lot of great midfield play, a lot of testy play. I won't assume that there's going to be a big pushing match, but I wouldn't be shocked that there's definitely some more tensions that are building here in the second half.
So the Knights with a 1-goal advantage. Bob and I will take a break. Once again, I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me in the booth is Bob Hauk. The second half of action in 9 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kaplan Field from Newburgh, New York for the second half of action between the Mount St. Mary Knights and the SUNY Delhi Broncos. The Knights, if you're just now joining us, carry a 1-0 lead into the second half. That goal came 5 minutes into the first half, and an excellent defensive game from both sides after that. Bob, what are we looking for to start the second half?
I think both teams are going to come out just swinging for the bleachers, and I think there's just going to be a lot of action to get out here. I mean, both keepers have been fairly comfortable in net. Both have the same amount of saves, I believe. Actually, Maloney has more saves, just unfortunately let in that unbelievable corner kick goal, but I think Delhi's going to come out and try and test Horn a little bit more. He's had to make 2 saves this half, hasn't been tested a whole lot, so I think we're definitely going to see a lot more forward momentum, a lot more shots.
And you touched on it, Bob. I mean, the one goal of the game was a highlight reel goal, and after that it has just felt like a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just been a lot of jockeying in the midfield, a lot of physical play, just a lot of trying to get possession of the ball.
A lot of physicality, a lot of defense. I mean, hard not to like if you're a sports fan, especially not hard to like if you're a broadcaster.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun to watch from here in the booth, and Delhi has got a pretty heavy attacking formation. You're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys up on the line. I would not be shocked if a center back boots his forward. Sending it away is Delhi. It's time to party. Second half of action from Kaplan Field. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I think I had that on the nose, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. And I expect it for the Broncos. I mean, very aggressive in their pursuits of the ball in the first half. And, I mean, frankly, I expect that to continue, especially down 1.
Undoubtedly, and they'll definitely be pushing the envelope as much as they can this half, because you got to grab that goal as soon as you can.
No, of course, because 1 goal is manageable. But, I mean, you're now in the second half, 44 minutes, 28 seconds and counting down. Now here's Burgos on a potential fast break, tries to get around the defense, takes a fall. The Knights want a foul.
Oh, wow.
They won't get it.
Oh, wow, that looked like a heavy shove there. No call. Burgos sold it well, at least, if it was no contact, but that definitely looks suspect.
And Burgos, again, we've talked about him a lot on the broadcast tonight. 6'5", a lot of physicality, just didn't get the whistle there.
See him moving around a lot, and it looks like they've moved Mazzarelli in towards the central a little bit more here. You'll see Burgos up the wing a little bit more frequently this half.
Maloney sends that one towards the middle, deflected off the head of Allison, and again off the head of Bevavino. Off the head of Bevavino again, gets it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez plays it off the first touch, nicely done, tries to work it around, does so, gets it to, that's Carson Maker. No, that's TJ Mark. He started the first half, was relieved halfway through, back out with the starting 11 to open the second half. Now here's Allison with a step along the near sideline. Tried to get the defender off his case, does. Good job keeping it in bounds. Gets it back to Burgos. Burgos leaves it for Allison. Allison guarded by number 17, Ian Silvero. That one ends up out of play, but it will be Knights ball.
And Allison definitely pushing the issue there. You're going to see a lot of interesting matchups with him this half. He definitely seems like he's coming out swinging.
It'll be a throw-in for Mount St. Mary, and Bob, we touched on it lightly in the first half, but the Knights have had a lot of those today.
They really have, and they've been pushing that ball up the left and right-hand channel so much, and that's just bound to happen when you're trying to play that ball forward so frequently and you're passing so much.
Keezer sends it high in the air. Adeyeye gets it away for Delhi. The Knights have the ball, but they are on what feels like just the other end of the world. Now midfield, Mark leaves it for Tynan. Tynan waltzes through the midfield circle. Good pass, keeps it on the ground. Now here is
Wallace.
Wallace waltzes it in, gets around. Works that one towards the middle, just ahead of Mark. Good pass there. Gutierrez unattended. Leaves that one low. Able to wrap it up, Maloney. But a good chance to open the second half for the Knights.
That's a great look, and I just have to say you love the passion. I mean, I can only see the tops of their heads, but every single guy on the Mount bench just jumped up like that. Just jumped up there like they were watching a three-pointer on their own end.
And we've observed, I mean, for the Knights on offense, and I mean really just anywhere, but specifically in that attacking third, the passing has been beautiful.
Absolutely. It's been so quality as Delhi is trying to play through our back line here. Mount have been keeping on to this ball so much, and I think that's just the experience of the senior and junior midfielders.
Good job from Bevavino there to keep the ball out of the Broncos' attacking third. Burgos gets ahead on it, leaves that one for Mark. Mark tried to get it to Mazzarelli, left it just behind him. Delhi able to take it away. Here's Adeyeye now, gets around.
Whoa.
Mazzarelli falls. We have a whistle.
Seemed like there's a wrestling match going there on the other end of the field. That was a pretty aggressive bout for the ball.
Mazzarelli gets tangled up, hits the deck hard. There's a whistle. Both players get a slap on the wrist. It's been a physical game for both sides.
Undoubtedly, and I would not be shocked if you see a lot more of that, and I think it's going to get chippier as we go on here.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I mean, it just feels like one of those games. I mean, the closer you get to the finish line, just the higher and higher the intensity is going to get.
100%, and I don't mean to have anyone read too much into this, but at the men's level, you just see so much more physicality and aggression.
And here's Delhi deep in Mount St. Mary end. Good job there from Tynan. If you're the Knights, you just have to get it out of harm's way. Rockets that one off of Bronco, out of play, but it'll be another throw-in for the Mount.
And again, just that aggression peeping its head out of the burrow. Just so many opportunities up the wing.
Hughes on the throw-in, intended for Mazzarelli, just out of reach. Adeyeye sends it down. Good job there from Allison.
Oh, wow.
The Knights have done a really good job just getting in the way of passes. I mean, they haven't quite forced turnovers, but they're just redirecting the ball out of the Broncos' way. I mean, it's inconvenient, I think is the best word for it, but it's really good job there from the Mount.
100%.
Working it along the near sideline for Delhi. That's Cerro. Cerro, guarded by Wallace, flicks that one towards the net, well off behind the net and to the left.
And a little bit of I don't know if it was taunting, but Horn started clapping there after that ball got whipped out of bounds. So I don't know if that was him appreciating his defenders or what, but you have to love it.
And Horn, in 3 games so far this year, 5 halves, 2 full games, and of course the first half of this one, 1 goal through 5 halves.
It's extremely impressive, and I have to shout him out. And I didn't realize until today he lives on the same floor as I do in our dormitory, so that's pretty cool.
So far, a well-deserved pat on the back might be in order. Hughes for Tynan. Tynan, good job getting around. Tynan sends that one upfield. Beautiful pass up ahead for Wallace. Can he keep it in bounds? Yes, he can. Impressive effort there.
That was a beaut.
And if you're the Knights, Bob, we've talked about that. Just passing it to where the guy is going to be has worked out perfectly. Because you give the attacker a chance, and if you put it in the right spot, you give him an extra step.
Yeah, unequivocally, and this just an unbelievably gorgeous daisy cutter just from the other end of the field. You have to be careful not to overhead it on turf, because turf will put the ball in the supercharge mode, but that was a wonderful pass.
Wallace to throw it in. Tried to get it to Mark. Deflects off Mark. Out of play. Delhi ball. So the Knights 5 shots on goal, 1 goal in comparison to Delhi's 3 shots on goal, no goals. And Bob, for those of you just joining us, or for those of you who just don't remember, 2 loud shots off the crossbar, 1 for each side. So it's 1-0, but it could very easily be more.
Oh, 100%.
Good effort there from Keyser, and there's a whistle.
I don't like that call.
Keyser gives a love tap to David Clapper. Clapper goes down. The referee takes exception. Free kick here for Delhi. Just outside the box. This could be a chance for the Broncos to pull even.
And the gent in orange has been letting a lot go, and that one, I guess he just had enough. And I can't say I like that call.
On the free kick for the Broncos, it's Ian Silvero. The freshman wall of Wallace and Mark. Set to block the free kick should the Broncos elect to put this one on net.
Horn's going to adjust it. Delhi has an entire group of bodies in the far corner here. They're just going to try and put one on Horn's head if they can. The
free kick from Silvero. That one towards the middle on the ground. Not sure that's what the Broncos wanted to do there. Can of corn for Noah Horn. Still 1-0.
I like that one. And that was a cheeky attempt, but Horn was definitely keen to be on it. He's no sucker.
Not quite in midseason form, but I'm impressed I was able to make that rhyme.
That was pretty impressive.
I might throw that one on the resume. I was a fan of that one.
Absolutely. Put it on the reel, as our professor would say.
Allison for Adeyeye takes it away. Rifles that one towards the Knights bench. Out of play, but it will be Knights ball. Burgos using all 6'5", posting up on Lawrence Robinson. Lawrence Robinson actually from Newburgh. First-year student at SUNY Delhi.
That's intriguing. One of your first games of the year is against a school that you overlooked.
Homecoming game, if you will.
Yeah, in the worst way possible.
A homecoming game on the road has to be an interesting experience.
100%.
Wallace just rifles that one towards the net. Mazzarelli giving chase. Good job there for Mazzarelli just to keep the ball in the Knights' possession. That one taken away. Mazzarelli in a 2-on-1, and he's winning.
Remarkable possession from the senior.
So Mazzarelli a 2-on-1, he being the one, and him coming away victorious.
He's fighting for his life there on that wing, and Delhi is just giving him the business.
Impressive effort there. He had a near miss on a penalty kick. Impressive effort there from Maloney to take it away. Keyser just knocks that one out of bounds. So the Broncos with a little bit of momentum. Good job there from Keyser to at least stall it out.
And that's great to see from your defensive line being able to be in those comfortable positions to just put that out without much effort after Delhi is putting in so much effort to go get that ball. You're going to hire out the forwards, and it's just going to be much easier to play defense when, obviously, they're tired.
So Delhi on a throw-in. Clearly, I mean, don't mean to cut you off. Clearly a lot of deliberation about who is going to throw in the ball. That's Ryan Fryer. You know, us as broadcasters, Bob, I'm not quite in midseason form. You know, I trip over my words every here and there.
That is what it is. I apologize. I was just intrigued by our school's tennis team running by on the street, actually.
Interesting.
Definitely. I suppose they're having a practice currently. Didn't know they ran out this far for their warm-ups or whatever.
Wallace rifles that one out of the goalie box, out of harm's way. Here's Mazzarelli with some room to work. Mazzarelli up along the far sideline for Gutierrez. Gutierrez, of course, the game's lone goal scorer. Mazzarelli works it back towards the Knights side of midfield. Tynan gets it to Keyser. Keyser now working it towards the near sideline. Keyser gets it to Wallace. Wallace works his way around. Intended for Burgos. That pass just behind him. The Broncos are able to take it away. It's Hughes now in a foot race with Derek Jotty.
Man, that kid is fast.
And the Knights come away with it. And again, really good defensive effort from Liam Hughes tonight.
Absolutely, and it does seem like the Mountain is playing three center backs, so I'm shocked that Delhi isn't trying to abuse the wings more.
Burgos trying to lead Wallace there with the pass and done so unsuccessfully. We have a whistle. Taking a fall right after the whistle is Matt Serro.
Burgos getting a little bit of a earful from the referee. Not particularly a great look to knock a guy down after the whistle.
Just after the whistle. I think that's 6'5". I mean, frankly, that's just a runaway train.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he was going to be able to stop himself there, of course. But
no malicious intent, and the referee, again, with the obligatory slap on the wrist. Nobody in any serious trouble.
But always have to be careful. If it's egregious enough, a referee can absolutely card you.
No, of course. That definitely was not card worthy.
No, definitely not. But
now here's Tynan with a step. Up ahead are Burgos and Mazzarelli. Tynan just love tap. It's Maloney. Maloney quickly gets it back out for Robinson. Robinson playing in his hometown. There's that one on the ground. Good deflection there. Now here's Serro with a step, guarded by Keyser. Keyser, good job. Serro takes a dive. The referee's not falling for it. Good defensive effort there. TJ Mark loses a shoe. So
great work from a potential theater major there. He really had his arms up.
Good defense there from Bevavino. So Delhi still with the ball, but unable to get it inside just yet. Clapper working along the sideline. Good defense there from Wallace to knock it out of play. It'll be a corner kick for Delhi.
Things are most certainly heating up here as we reach the 1 hour mark.
But Delhi, good job maintaining possession, at least for that possession. But the Knights, good defense, not allowing the Broncos to work it inside.
Absolutely. It's definitely a push and pull thing. And Delhi is saying we're still here, and the Mount's saying we're here for it.
And we've been saying, 33-07, we'll see how well this take is going to age. But it feels like a 1-goal deficit won't be enough.
I'm keen to agree there.
Centering pass towards the middle over everybody.
Oof.
Headed towards the end line, ends up out of play.
His hands go on the head of a substitute here. That's definitely an opportunity that was left awry.
Coming on for Delhi, that's number 6, Robert Marcilliot, and number 18, Andres Ibanez.
That's a good name.
You remember Raul Ibanez?
World
Baseball
Series
player?
legend. Phillies legend.
Really? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Phillies, Mariners. I remember him as a Yankee.
I do love some Ibanez, actually. I like just saying that name, Ibanez.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I remember him as a Yankee. That 2 home runs he had against the Orioles in 2012.
Yuck. Oh.
Allison able to pick it off and take it away. Allison now with a step, guarded by Gahin. Whistle.
And Allison putting in absolute work in the midfield here, just getting to the heads of Delhi.
And you can tell, the Broncos and the Knights, they've been going at it all game. Lots of physicality inside. A lot of whistles. Nobody's been carded yet, thankfully. But these two teams are definitely thinking about each other.
Certainly becoming a testy matchup, as the English would say, as a long ball is going to be played in by Keyser.
Keyser sends that one towards the middle. The Knights pack the back left of the box, unable to corral it. Tynan for Wallace. Pass just behind him, but Wallace fairly unattended. Wallace gets it to Keyser on the Knights' own end of midfield. The Knights are going to try and bake a cake from scratch. All the way back for Horn. So the Knights just gathering the ingredients for the possession here. Gets it from Mark.
You can certainly see an intention to slow down the play here as the Knights are keeping the ball on the ground as much as they can.
Mark for Bevavino for Mazzarelli. I mean, the passing, again, we've talked about it, but the passing has been quite good.
Very quality.
So, I mean, I wouldn't say they're taking their foot off the gas. I mean, they're up 1-0. But, I mean, lots of passing. Mazzarelli takes a shove. Referee doesn't bite. Still loose. Sending that way upfield is the Newburgh native Robinson. Horn giving chase. He'll wave off Hughes. Horn will just send that one out of play towards the Delhi bench.
Some complaints are ringing out from parents that are watching with us here on the street.
And I mean, of course, being in an open-air broadcast booth, we'll get some of that. Parents, of course, on either side of us.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Gutierrez leaves it for Horn. Horn gets it to Mark. Mark up along the near sideline. Mark for Burgos, right around the midfield line. Pickpocketed, that's number 23, Kyan Flynn. Gets it back for Gahin. Gahin double-teamed, picked up by Tynan. Forced to pass it back towards the Broncos' end of the field. That one ends up out of play. Bronco ball. Half an hour and counting down. One shot on goal for the half, and it belongs to the Knights.
Most certainly, and through the first 15 minutes here after we edge past the hour-long mark, you can definitely see a slowdown in play, although there is a lot of boiling temperatures that we're nearing.
I think so. I mean, there's a slowdown in play, but that doesn't equate to a drop-off in quality of play.
Absolutely not, and it's like when you're putting the ingredients into a beaker in science class and you just get it wrong and it explodes. And that's just what we're waiting for right now, it seems.
This game feels like a baking soda volcano, Bob. Just waiting to happen.
Fizzing.
Baking soda and vinegar, right?
I believe so, yes.
So 3 weeks from now, Bob and I are going to make a paper-mache volcano, and we'll do it live on air, and we'll let you all know how it goes. Working with it along the near sideline is Ibanez. Picked off by Wallace. Allison fires, tried to get it upfield. Hits a Bronco. Karen's out of play up near us in the booth. Wallace fires it in. Mark gets a foot on it. Ball right around the midfield line, corralled by Ibanez. Sends that one downfield. And now here's Cerro with a step, guarded by Hughes. Cerro gets it off. Good deflection there from Horn to keep it out. And Hughes sends that one into next week out of play, but an impressive defensive stand from Mount St. Mary.
Phenomenal save from Horn just to keep himself big and stay with that play all the way through to get a knee on it. And doesn't seem like he's very happy. Something must have been missed somewhere on the way through.
Horn keeps it out of the net. Hughes puts out the fire, if you will. It will be a corner kick for Delhi, but as of right now, the threat is extinguished.
Yeah, and just a little bit of a slip-up from Bevanino looking for a header there. Ball just kept carrying. Wind's been unpredictable today. It just is what it is. Turf is really difficult to play on as a defender.
So some bend but don't break defense for the Knights. Corner kick coming from Gahin over everyone again, out of play. And so at least the last two corner kicks for the Broncos, I mean, pack everyone in the middle, try and catch a crazy deflection off someone, but the last two have just gone over everyone.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they're pushing that back post envelope and method, but they're just putting it a little bit too far.
Horn gets it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez all the way around.
And, of course, Delhi keen to test the aerial precision of Horn as he's 5'9", which is not short for a goalkeeper, but it's not tall.
Now here's Burgos with a step. Burgos puts the moves on, has that one taken away. That's Adeyeye on the defense, but there's a whistle. Burgos down, waiting for a helping hand.
Dangerous spot for a free kick here, Lucas.
So what's the strategy here? I mean, if you're the Knights, you're up 1-0, upcoming free kick. Do you put this one on the net, or do you draw up a play here?
From a little bit of an off angle, it depends how many men. I apologize. Maloney. I'm forgetting the players we've been commentating on for the last hour. It depends how many men Maloney puts in his wall, because the goalkeeper will direct where the wall is going to be. But I would not be shocked to see a right-footed swing into the back post, but might also see a shot get rattled out here.
I mean, of course, the Knights looking for an insurance goal, and Delhi looking to avoid going down 2-0. Gutierrez to take free kick. Group of Knights gathered along the top of the box.
I'd say he looks keen to shoot here.
After that corner kick, I think you can let him pull the trigger here. Gutierrez lets it fly. That one goes high and wide off to the right.
I'd say from here, it definitely looked like he was looking at the net, but I think he just overhit it just a tad bit.
So Burgos shaken up after the collision, presumably with Adeyeye. He's down and taking a seat. We hope he's all right.
Been a very physical matchup between those two today.
So while the official takes a look at Burgos, the Delhi Broncos will make a change. Umaru Kanti comes on. Coming off is David Clapper.
And a little bit of a lull in play here. An interesting aspect that both men's and women's teams will be on the road for numerous games after this.
Burgos walking off the field under his own power. It looks like he'll come out of the game. We hope he's all right. Coming on in relief, number 6, Michael Hillis. And Bob, I mean, you're right. The next game we're going to call isn't for another 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, you'll catch us here on the 17th at 6 p.m. against John Jay for men's soccer at Kaplan Field. Again, my name is Bob Houck, and I am with the illustrious Lucas Stackpole. And you will not see us for almost 3 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks on the nose.
Ugh.
What are they going to do with it? What are they going to do without us, Bob?
You'll be, I believe right before that, you will be catching me on the 16th by myself in the booth, women's volleyball versus Bard College at 6 p.m. in the Kaplan Gym.
Women's volleyball team fresh off a playoff berth, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, first round exits, but a playoff berth nonetheless. I'm friends with a lot of them, and they're a very entertaining team to watch.
Delhi with a chance there.
Oh.
Pass intended for Matthew Bender.
That ball got blasted into the apartments across the street, and a car almost drilled that ball that got bounced.
Yeah, that ball headed for Powell Avenue.
That was a little scary.
Which is a very active street, by the way, as I'm sure you can tell by the passing by car.
Whole lot of people that come through here because it connects straight to the center city on Liberty Street.
So the centering pass for the car goes just wide. Tossing it in now is Adeyeye. Still loose up in the air. The Knights have to get it out, taking the shot.
Oh, dear. That's into the college courts.
High and wide. Reminiscent of Scott Norwood. That one not close. Out of play over everything. On the walk back to the dorm, I'll be sure to get that one back.
Yeah, that'll be in someone's dorm room. That's going to be a souvenir on their shelf.
College courts 392. Check all the windows. Hope nothing's broken.
Bombs away.
Hughes for Keyser, and Delhi bringing back out the press defense. 26-23 to play. Your score still 1-0. Bob, if you're Delhi, at what point do you hit the big red button?
I think they've been hitting the big red button, but I wouldn't say quite all the way there. I think they're definitely trying to turn up the heat a little bit. I think within the next 10 to 15, they'll definitely start going for broke.
I mean, again, it's been a recurring theme. Very aggressive in the first half an hour of the first half. Trying to get under Horn's skin, force a bad pass, which they did once, but that didn't culminate to anything. And then they let that go for the last 15 minutes of the first half and, in turn, the first 20 minutes of the second half. But now, down 1, it seems they've gone back to it.
Yeah, indubitably. And I would not say they're playing bully ball, but they're definitely playing at a higher pace, and they're definitely just trying to force mistakes where they can find them.
Because at some point down 1, you're just going to have to start playing like your hair's on fire.
Most certainly.
We're curious to see now just when that's going to be.
Some phenomenal build-up play here from the Mount.
Good ball moving there for the Knights. A whistle and an offside call.
Not to give my audible expressions, but man, that was wonderful. That's a shame that was offsides.
So some good ball movement from the Knights, spoiled by an offside call. Salvatore Maloney to kick it away as we approach the 25-minute mark. Maloney commiserating, figuring out what to do with the ball, sends that one away. Tynan goes off his head, catches somebody in front of him, stays loose, and now here's Wallace. Wallace sends it all the way back for Horn. Horn for Keyser. Keyser guarded by Conti, out of bounds. And the referees rule it to go the way of the Knights. Conti disagrees, pleading his case. And as it seems to come up a lot, Bob, referees, they're not always right, but they're never wrong. Because that one's rifled off the top of the big brown fence.
That's definitely an increasing sentiment with soccer referees that you really are not supposed to be complaining to them. And I believe I have mentioned before that at the higher levels now, you can get carded if you go and complain to a referee. Only the captain is supposed to talk to the referee.
Yeah, I believe you're talking about that. I can't remember if that was before the broadcast or on the broadcast, but I know you were telling me that only a captain can go give the referee a piece of his mind.
Or at least that's supposed to be what's happening. Obviously, it's always been a thing that you're not supposed to argue with them, but soccer is definitely a vocal sport.
Most referees usually are pretty good. As long as you don't show up the referee, they'll they'll let you get your 2 cents in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now here's Allison working along the near sideline, has that one knocked out, but it'll stick with Mount St. Mary. Allison leaves the throw-in duties to Wallace.
And I'm keen to mention that Delhi's last 2 losses were 2-1 and 3-1, so it's not uncommon for them to be losing in close games.
We'll see if a whistle, down goes Wallace. And now, Bob, I suppose we'll see if Delhi can pull even or even take the lead in what is shaping up to be a close finish.
Most certainly, and while I was in the bathroom at halftime, 2 Delhi parents were chatting, and they used the phrase "same old" when they were talking about the Broncos. So not to cause any flack, but the parents are not approving.
Well, here's Gutierrez on the free kick. This one sent towards the middle as opposed to an actual shot intended for Bevavino. Jumped up, couldn't quite get a body part on it. And that one's going to go all the way towards the sideline, giving chases Wallace. Ultimately, he just lets it go. Sticks with the Knights.
And we'll reorganize the formation as the Knights are going to take a breather here.
So Horn, from his own end, sends it back over midfield. Good job fielding it. It's Allison. Allison gets it to Wallace. Wallace sends it back towards upfield, intended for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli can't quite come down with it. Mazzarelli now guarded tightly by Ibanez. All the way around, dodges a slide tackle. Impressive effort just to keep possession, and there's a whistle.
An advantage was played there, but Delhi did win the ball back, so the referee's going to call that.
So a slap on the wrist for Aiden Gahin. Free kick coming for the Mount.
As you so rudely interrupted me in this riveting contest. For those who don't understand at home, an advantage is played when a partial foul is given, but the team that was fouled maintains possession of the ball. So their Marco was fouled, but he maintained possession, so they didn't call it right away.
Kieser sends that way downfield, catches a head, bounces towards Maloney. Maloney able to knock it down anyway. Sends that one away into a sea of white. Interesting strategy there. I mean, it felt like Maloney didn't give the Broncos a whole lot of time to clear out there.
Yeah, definitely not. And sometimes it can be a tactic to just drive a really low one upfield to your striker who's on a run, but there it just seems like he didn't catch it right.
So Gutierrez and Bevavino throw Cerro in a jail cell. The 2-on-1 forces a turnover. Ends up out of play. And another throw in for the Knights, Bob.
And that definitely seems to be the aspect here is the Knights are playing Warden and they're trying to swallow the key.
I'm not sure if Bob, you'll have to tell me. I'm not sure if throw-ins are a counted statistic, but I would be extremely curious as to see how many the Mount has tonight.
It definitely is. I just don't know where we would find it for our stat sheet, but it definitely is, yes.
That one trickles all the way back to Maloney. Goal kick coming away. That one catches some wind. Bevavino, good job getting ahead on it. Cerro had a step. Bevavino able to knock it away.
There was the aforementioned line drive trying to catch a streaking striker through the middle there.
Taking a tumble is Wallace. That one sent towards the middle. Kieser gets a head on it. That one rocketed. Oh, that one is headed for the courts.
That might be
well out of play. That ball is blistered about 20 miles off course, out of play.
And Lucas's roommate might have gotten a rude awakening there. I think that one landed in the courts as well.
So 2 loud errant misses for Delhi. Warning shots, if you will.
Definitely call it a warning shot or at least a sound check, but they haven't been putting much on goal, so it's not an extremely concerning sign for the Mount so far.
A display of muscle, but perhaps a display of too much muscle. As Wallace works it to Maker. Or sorry, that's Tynan. Tynan gets it to Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli, nice first touch, able to knock it down. Looking for Napoli. Napoli has a step. Mazzarelli, beautiful job getting around. Mazzarelli waltzes it in. That pass wide. Gutierrez able to get a foot on it. Can't put it on the net, but able to maintain possession. Gets it to Tynan. Tynan looking for a shot, has that one blocked from behind. Giving chase is Kieser. That one left towards the near sideline. Here's Conti. Conti guarded by Allison. Conti gets a step, able to get around. Guarded by 2 more guys in white. Gahin looking to get around, works it past towards midfield. Wallace able to take it away. Wallace with a step. Tries to lead Mazzarelli. Seems to be a little bit of miscommunication. Adeyeye comes away with it. Leaves it for Maloney. 19:15 to play. And Bob, I think if you're Delhi, I think now is the time.
Yeah, absolutely. You just got to go for broke here when you get into the late stages of the game. And if I can mention real quick, the Jeremy Burgos has been subbed off for number 6, Michael Hillis, a freshman forward from Massapequa Park. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Massapequa, it's on Long
There
Island.
we go. All right, cheers. Thank you.
Burgos.
There we go. Cameraman's got me. Appreciate it.
Burgos, when we noted earlier, he was shaken up a little earlier in the game. Then Hillis came on in relief.
Never want your striker getting injured, so we'll see what the first year can pull out of his pocket here.
Horn directing traffic.
Pushing the gents upfield, taking his time. Definitely an experienced goalkeeper by his body language.
Delhi, a lot of guys deep in the mountain end. Low kick from Horn. Tynan there to field it. Gets it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez, solid effort, just keeping it out of the Broncos' way.
Some pretty play there to keep the ball away from the black shirts.
Gahan looks like slips, falls. Tynan now. Tynan just, the Knights really just trying to get it out of their own end. Tynan leaves it for Bevavino. Bevavino sends that one past towards midfield. Getting a foot on it is Hillis. Picked up by Mazzarelli, working through the midfield circle. Mazzarelli, good job getting around. And he really has done a good job creating separation tonight.
Mazzarelli is just unbelievable. The biology major from Poughkeepsie. I mean, just brilliant. I've known the guy for a minute. Great guy. Just well offsides here.
Now here's one up ahead. That one finally whistled dead. Cerro had a chance. Bob, good job on you for calling the offsides, but it does feel like they blew the whistle a little late there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when a ball gets pinged up that far, you have to let the head ref catch up with the linesman, but well, they are also always communicating through there, so they might have just been taking a quick check to make sure it was all right.
So the Knights might have caught a little bit of a break there. I mean, Matt Cerro there had a step and a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, I mean, I would say a step into a different state, but he was complaining there to the referee, but personally, I could see it from up here.
Yeah, no, I mean, you were right on that. And Cerro, probably in a different area code, but the refs took a little bit of time deciding they wanted to call that.
Great move here.
Allison tries to work his way around, has that one poked away. Bronco ball as that trickles out over the end line.
Unfortunately for us, we're probably going to be seeing, in the late stages here, we're going to be seeing a lot of play out of the corners. The Mount's going to be trying to keep that ball into the corner, trying to chew up as much time as they can. So it will be difficult for us to be able to see it, but it will definitely be much more wonderful if they can see it through.
David Clapper checks back in for the Broncos. Coming off is Umaru Kanti. And a missile from Maloney. Mazzarelli takes off, guarded by Robinson. Neither one able to definitively come away with it. Napoli, good defense there on Robinson. Robinson keeps it in play. Wallace sends that one back towards Maloney. Maloney will pick it up, send it away.
Some hungry dogs up top, and Delhi is going to be having to deal with a lot of fiery freshmen that are running at them, trying to get that ball back as soon as they can.
So the Knights, 16:07 to play, looking to hand the SUNY Delhi Broncos another close loss. Bob, I mean, this second half, a lot less fireworks, loud shots, misses off the crossbar. But, I mean, to be completely honest, I feel like this has been as advertised.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was hoping for a few more on the goal-scoring front, but it's been an unbelievable match for midfield play, and passing has just been top ends, top class.
And, I mean, frankly, I've said it a couple of times, but honestly, if you don't like what you've seen tonight, you don't like sliced bread.
Say a very good showing for the sport, if I do say so myself.
Wallace leaves it for Napoli along the near sideline, guarded tightly by Gahan. Wallace, good pass there, gets it to Mazzarelli. Perhaps a little hard, but Mazzarelli does a good job corralling it. Mazzarelli, good ball fake there. Gets Jake Carroll jumping out of his shoes. Gutierrez now waltzes it in with a little bit of room to work. Gutierrez leaves it for Tynan. Tynan working towards the far sideline, left the ball behind a little bit there on accident, but no immediate pressure, able to come away with it, no problem. Pass intended for Tynan from Napoli, unable to come down with it. And here's Hughes. Hughes, midfield circle, has that pass taken away. A rare errant pass tonight for the Mount, but nothing comes of it. Gutierrez for Tynan. The Knights working with it deep in their own end. Leaves it for Allison. Allison with a step. Looking to catch the Broncos off guard. Goes up ahead. Here's Hillis. The referees, no offside.
Offside calls from the fans.
Working along the end line, leaves it for Allison. That shot blocked. So, I mean, the armchair referees wanted an offside. They won't get it. Out of play, the end line. It'll be a corner kick for the Knights. The fourth of the contest, I believe. We'll see if they update the scoreboard. Two substitutions for the Knights coming on. Number 14, Ryan Alvarado, a senior, and Jeremy Burgos, he's okay. He's walked off the injury, it appears. He'll check back into the contest for the Knights.
Wonderful. And Alvarado from New Jersey, my resident assistant, actually. He lives right across the hallway from me.
Remarkably quick. I remember him scoring quite a few goals in last season. First time we've said his name tonight.
He definitely had a few worldies, a few stunners last year.
And I mean, Bob, perhaps you can attest to this or give me your 2 cents. But he moved up 1, bringing in Alvarado. Looks like the Knights just want the veteran presence to finish out a close game.
100%, and I would have to fully agree with you there.
Cerro and Hughes in a one-on-one. Cerro, the only man in black for miles around. Whoa. Upended is Clapper by Wallace. The referees see no issue with it. Here's Mazzarelli working it just outside the box. Working it towards the end line, now working it towards the near sideline, guarded tightly by Robinson.
And you're going to see a lot of that from the midfielders and wingers to be just putting your back to the defender and keeping that ball in the corner, forcing him to punch it out.
Robinson does a good job forcing it out of play. The Lawrence Robinson fan club has set up just to the left of us, it would appear. I'm sure the microphones are picking up some noise.
Would not be shocked. I believe we have multiple Mount families on our right and Delhi families on our left.
That's usually how it works out, I've noticed. I mean, there's no designated seating here on the sidewalk. I think people just kind of go nowhere to go, I guess.
Definitely so. And I have noticed that I don't believe visiting families realize we have the bleachers and areas to walk around and sit on the other side, so they usually just park their cars and just post up right on our sidewalk.
I mean, Kaplan Field is it's the loud house, man. I wouldn't want to sit in the bleachers either as a visiting fan.
Definitely not. No, they get rowdy over there.
That one goes off the head of Clapper. Changes possession a few times. Everybody not bouncing it off their heads like it's in style. Out of play, Adeyeye rifles one upfield. Nobody home. Alvarado, and there's that speed we were just talking about. Alvarado will leave it for Hughes.
Kid's crazy fast.
Hughes all the way back for Horn. Horn swings it to Bevavino. Bevavino leaves it for Keyser. Keyser backs off, sliding defensive effort there from Clapper. Leaves it in the Knights' end. Here's the Broncos now with a chance. Crossing himself up, out of play. Out of play. And the Knights catch a huge break. Jake Carroll gets a beautiful pass in the box, but he just can't come down with it. Juggles it out of play, out of the end line. Knights ball.
That was a scary possession. I think, alluding to the red button that we talked to earlier, I think it's definitely been pushed, well pushed by this point, as you saw a near two-legged tackle coming out from one of the Delhi forwards to win it back.
And Delhi really has turned up the pressure. Again, like you said, I think the doomsday button has been pressed. But that effort from Carroll, I mean, it was a good chance. I'm not saying he would have taken it all the way to the house, but that's a pass you have to come down with, especially in a situation such as this one.
Unequivocally, and that's such a difficult one to miss in such a late stage of the game.
Mercilliot guarded tightly by both Napoli and Wallace.
Oof. And a tough call made by the referee there in the corner. The Delhi Broncos are going to get a pseudo corner kick from about 10 feet off of the corner line.
So Mercilliot takes a fall. The referee takes exception, much to the chagrin of Mount players and families alike.
And of course, you're not going to see a shot here, but we're definitely going to see a low-driven, whipped-in cross. It's going to probably go to the back post.
So the hometown kid, Robinson, taking the free kick. That one loose in front. Burgos, there's all 6'5" of him, able to get that one out of harm's way. Still loose in front. Now here's Burgos again, turning some defense into offense. Got ahead on the corner kick and now leading the charge. Leaves that one for Tynan. Tynan, the Knights slow it down, waiting for numbers. Tynan working it all the way around. We'll get it to Alvarado.
A remarkable possession for the Mount to be able to keep that out of the net. That was a very well played cross.
Alvarado loses possession, has that one poked out. Maloney to send it away. Now here's Cerro with a step working against Keyser. Cerro grabs a fistful at jersey, it looked like. The referees don't bite. Cerro takes a fall. Horn handles that easily towards the end line. No pressure yet from Delhi.
And you'll definitely see a lot more of that aggression coming out from the forwards of Delhi. You'll probably seeing a lot of pushing and shoving and grabbing towards the end here.
And if you're Horn and if Delhi is not going to come all up in your kitchen, just hang on to the ball.
Might as well. That seems to be the case. But we'll see what happens these last 10 minutes as we get into the championship rounds.
Single-digit minutes now. Still 1-0. And this has been a remarkable defensive contest. And now here's Delhi with room to work. In alone, Hughes playing defense, and they score! Wow, and we are tied at 1.
Oh, wow.
Delhi gets the equalizer. They go to the corner to celebrate, and with 9:47 left to play, Bob, we're tied at 1.
Man, that's a brutal one to give up, and it obviously means so much to them to be on the road here and get a goal in a game that counts nothing towards their playoff standings, of course, but never a good thing to concede a goal this late in the match, so we'll have to see what the Mount pulls out of their back pocket here.
And that's the brutal part. I mean, that wasn't a cheapie. Delhi had a step up the whole way that possession. It just hurts. I mean, less than 10 minutes left in the contest. That's one you can't afford to give up.
Yeah, it definitely hurts, and of course, as we've alluded to multiple times, we're sitting here right next to a Delhi fan section. They just exploded right next to us.
And Delhi's been waiting for that one, so I mean, we'll see. They've avoided at least the close loss. We'll see if they can pull out a close win. And again, I mean, might as well now. It might be 0-0, 9:43 and counting down. Now that both teams have one on the board, I expect the big red button to be pressed from both sides. And now here's a beautiful pass. Now here's Sarah with a step just out of reach.
Wow. Delhi has come alive here on the left side of the pitch. If you can see them on the stream, the entire bench is on their feet.
And that goal completely brought Delhi back from the dead. That was a good chance there. The pass just out of reach of Matt Serro. But, I mean, that's two really good chances in what feels like 2 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like the mortar has definitely exploded here, so we'll have to see if there's some additional fireworks here in the late show.
It has hit the fan, if you will. I mean, 9 minutes, and everybody is playing with their hair on fire. Bob, we are in for a good finish.
This is about to be an insane last 9 minutes of the match.
A throw-in for Serro, the only man in black on that side of the field. He'll wait for numbers.
And, of course, as I've mentioned in multiple streams, but thank you for joining us for our first men's stream, there is no stoppage time in college. So once that clock hits 0, the game is over. So you will be seeing a lot of play for those last 8 minutes.
And, Bob, for the folks at home, a tie isn't the worst thing in the world, but remind everyone just, you know, what's at stake here if it finishes in a tie, what happens?
Yeah, absolutely. So for any match that you square off in soccer, you get 3 points for a win, and when you tie, you get 1 and 1. So
Serro centering pass.
Woof.
Deflected by a Bronco in front. The redirect enough to keep Horn on his toes, but not enough for the goal. Mazzarelli working on Gahin. A little bit of contact, puts his hands up. Referee, no call. Here's Hughes for Wallace for Keyser. 8 minutes and counting down. And now, I mean, both teams playing for the win. Horn now.
Woof.
The
That was a little scary.
The Broncos aggressive in their pursuit. Horn able to maintain ball security. Gets it for Burgos along the near sideline. Checking into the game is Jack Hoffman for the Knights. Here's Burgos now with a step. Robinson with a slide tackle, able to deflect it. Burgos trying to set up shop. Swarmed by black jerseys. Works it all the way towards the end line. Centering pass for nobody home. Adeyeye fires it away. Deflected off Clapper. It'll be Knights' possession, but it'll be Knights' possession from midfield. Clapper throws a body on Bevavino, knocks him to the ground, no whistles. Clapper gets some hands on Keyser. Keyser forced to send it all the way back to Noah Horn. Now here's Tynan on the Knights' side of the midfield circle. Now it's Bevavino. Bevavino gets it to Wallace. 7:08 to play and counting down. Wallace up ahead for Bevavino. Mazzarelli picks it off. He gets it to Bevavino along the near sideline. Rifles that one towards the middle. That's deflected off of Robinson, out of play. Knights ball.
Lucas sounds like an auctioneer here. There's a lot of white jerseys getting pushed up top, so this is definitely going to be a wild finish. Things might get a little crazy here at the end.
And with that equalizing, it's loose in front. Maloney drops on all fours, able to make the play. And so, I mean, now with that equalizing goal having been scored, both teams smell blood in the water. Both of them want that go-ahead goal. 6:36 and counting down.
100%, and we're definitely going to be getting a lot of ping pong going on here with this neon ball in the dead of the night.
Like you mentioned, Bob, in college at least, no extra time, and this is a regular season game, so there's no need for this to go into penalties. So once that 6:19 is up, the game is over. Out of play, it'll be another throw-in for the Knights.
And, of course, as we were talking about earlier, you get 3 points for a win, so it's always brutal when you lose those 3 points because you lose 2 automatically when you tie, but if you lose all 3.
Now here's Horn. He'll play it with his hands, taking a deep breath and resetting.
And I think I need to take a deep breath because I feel like I'm bunched up like a ball of knots right now.
I mean, a tie, it means you avoid the loss, but it also means you didn't win the game. And I mean, in the point of sports, you're trying to win. You're not trying not to lose.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, while it may, Burgos, that one almost a good opportunity. That one rifled into the seats. Solid play there from the ball boy to keep it in play.
Shout out to the lacrosse team working the game today.
So, I mean, but if you're the Knights, even if you're able to come away with a point, I mean, and to your point, you were just talking about this. I mean, I'm not sure this is a game you feel amazing about.
Yeah, definitely not. When you're leading for so much of the game, it definitely hurts the soul a little bit when you concede a goal so late for the draw.
And they're leading for the first, let's see, that one knocked to the ground. I'm a digital media production major. I'm not a math major. This shouldn't be as hard as it is. 45 minutes, you add the other 30. So if you're leading for the first, they scored with 10 minutes left, so it's just 90 minus 10. So if you lead the game for 80 minutes, and it took me way too long to come up with that number, by the way. But
it's a little bit more hard to calculate when the clock counts down instead of just be able to see the full total.
Yeah, but leading for 80 minutes and coming away with a draw feels disappointing.
Yeah, 100%.
Bevino off his head, Hoffman giving chase, able to keep it in bounds. And all this talk of a tie, but there's still 4.5 minutes to play.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely see a lot of coming out. We're going to see Pandora's box open here. There we go. I had to find the right conversation to allude to. We'll definitely see something crazy happen here in these last 4.5 minutes. Both teams are very keen to win.
So the clock has stopped at 4.5 minutes. The Broncos make a change. Joseph Hayward comes on in relief of Robert Mercilliot. Throw in for Delhi. Mazzarelli gets a foot on it. Pursuit from both sides. Wallace able to bring it home. Wallace up along the near sideline. Burgos giving chase. There's Burgos, 6'5". He's got room. Burgos won't take it all the way, but he'll wait for numbers. The Knights now cooking up a solid opportunity. Burgos spin move. He works his way around. Guarded tightly by Robinson. Robinson plays good defense. Ends up out of play. Corner kick for the Mount.
The Mount's going to take their time here. They're definitely going to set up some sort of training ground set piece. If not that, they're going to get the best service they possibly can out of this corner. 4
minutes and counting down. Custer's last stand for both sides, 3:55, and this could be the best chance the Knights get the rest of the game.
A crossed arm symbol coming from the corner kick taker, so something fancy is going to come out here, Lucas.
A designed play, that's Napoli on the corner. 6th of the contest for the Knights. Napoli sends it away. That one falls. Nobody got a solid head on it. It's the Broncos able to get it out of harm's way.
Deflection was definitely home, but there was no white shirts to put it into bed.
Hughes works it almost exactly at the midfield line, so the Knights don't lose possession. They're just going to have to start nearly from scratch. Ball bouncing around, changing hands pretty frequently now right around midfield. The Broncos have it, turn it over. The Knights turn it over. Tynan gets a foot on it, has that one deflected. Bevino in pursuit, lets that one go out of bounds. And there's a Bronco down at midfield.
So the clock will stop and we'll get a little bit of a breather here.
Shaken up is number 12, Jake Carroll. Carroll, a first year from Glen Rock, New Jersey. We hope he's all right. He's up and moving, but we'll see if the Broncos want to leave him on. The Broncos trying to make a change. They will. So Carroll will come off under his own power, thankfully.
And the Mount brings on J.C. Gutierrez in relief of Jack Hoffman. Might see some magic from the young man up top.
Number 7, Jared Derigjadi started the contest, comes on for the final 3 minutes of the second half. Wallace fires it into a sea of black. Mazzarelli somehow able to play it off the deflection. Gets it for Wallace. Wallace launches that one for Adieye. Adieye, the only man within 100 miles of anyone. Now here's Wallace, sliding effort. Great play there. And going down hard is Joseph Hayward. Hayward comes up with a limp. No stoppage as Wallace chases it towards the end line. The wind picking up here in Newburgh. Almost lost the Knights roster. Adieye sends that one towards midfield.
Stuff's flying everywhere.
Now here's Mazzarelli working it towards the top of the key. Mazzarelli fires high and wide.
Another monster shot that's going to roll all the way up to the Garden Apartments. Just got under just a little bit too much. Back spinning over the bar. It's so hard to keep down on the floor.
So a warning shot there from Mazzarelli. And it's impressive, Bob, I'll say. I mean, 9 total shots on goal, 6 for the Mount, 3 for Delhi. Your score obviously still 1-1. But there's been a lot of missed opportunities on both sides. I mean, we talked about it, I believe it was at the beginning of the half. Both teams missed a shot off the crossbar. Mazzarelli had a penalty kick blocked.
Absolutely. That one will definitely come back to bite a little bit if this game does end up finishing 1-1.
I mean, of course, it's easy to point fingers at the coulda, woulda, shoulda, but, I mean, you can't help but think if the Knights had gotten either of those to fall, what would have gone down? A whistle, it'll go the way of the Broncos.
And, of course,
The clock is stopped.
Delhi's probably thinking about the myriad of chances they've had. They would be winning if they put those
Tynan
home.
pleads his case, and this is exactly what I was going to say. I mean, conversely, if you're Delhi, if you can get that shot off the crossbar or that wonderful sliding save from Bevavino, if you knock either of those in, you're up 3-1.
Yeah, absolutely. So, large game of hypotheticals, but scores all knotted up at 1-1 here as we get into the late stages of this match.
And, of course, I mean, the score being 1-1, that's all that matters. We can talk about hypotheticals all day. That one's still loose in front. That one just high.
Whoa. Wow. That was bottled.
And so the ball falls right into the lap of the Delhi Broncos, and we were just talking about how hypotheticals don't matter, but, man,
Gutierrez
that
well
one.
offsides. Oh, dear.
Gutierrez offside. The Knights not coming unraveled, but Bob, I mean, I literally just said you can't dwell on hypotheticals, but you, with a minute and a half left in the contest, I mean, you can't help but wonder, how do you got to come down with that?
Yeah, that's a clean through sitter, and that's just brutal to put over the bar. He obviously overthought it.
That one ends up well out of play. Souvenir. 50 seconds and counting down here in regulation. The Broncos won, the Knights won. We're setting up for a photo finish here at Kaplan Field. Bevavino fires that one towards midfield. 40 seconds counting down. Gahin sends that one out of harm's way. Can the Broncos keep it in play? Yes, they can. Solid defensive effort there. Now here's Bevavino. Bevavino gets it to Mazzarelli along the near sideline. Mazzarelli for Napoli. Napoli gets it to Burgos. 23 seconds counting down. Here's Gahin. Gahin deflected off Napoli. Out of play. 15 seconds for the Broncos. Working with it now. Sends that one towards the middle of the field. Nobody home. Deflected by Bevavino. Bevavino sends that all the way. 8 seconds counting down. Off the head of Adeyeye. 4 seconds. Burgos has to just fire one towards the net. That one well high. And Bob, that'll take us to the conclusion of this one. What an exciting contest it was, but it ends in a draw. The Mount St. Mary Knights won. The SUNY Delhi Broncos won. That's your final score here tonight. And Bob, we were talking about how one goal wouldn't be enough for the Knights, who led through 80 minutes of the contest, and ultimately we ended up being right.
Yeah, it seemed like the writing was on the wall, and that's just a brutal one to not come home with, but there's only so much you can do. Soccer's a difficult sport, and it was a hard-fought match on both sides.
So each team gets half of the cake, but Bob, I mean, we talked about it. For a game that the Knights were playing so well, for a game they led for so much of, a tie feels like a loss.
It really does this late in the match, and just hate to be a Debbie Downer, and I hope it's okay, but it's a little obnoxious when a team scores so late and their entire nation of green people explode in your face. So it's just really unfortunate to watch.
I mean, if you're Delhi, I mean, they avoid a close loss, and we were talking about earlier in the broadcast. I mean, Delhi has suffered 2 close losses to start the year. So I mean, they didn't lose this one. I mean, again, no winner. But if you're Delhi, you have to feel all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of effort to bring that extra goal home. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, your final tonight: Mount St. Mary 1, SUNY Delhi 1. Bob and I will be back on the call exactly 2 weeks from now for men's soccer versus John Jay. In the meantime, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you had as good a time as we did. And Bob, any closing statements?
You guys will see me in the booth all by myself on the 16th for women's volleyball against Bard at, I believe, 6 p.m. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for tuning in. I'm Lucas Stackpole. Once again, with me in the booth is Bob Hauk, and we will see you around.
Have a good one.